Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Village of Gurnee Planning and Zoning Board for this Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Could we have roll call, please?
Bow. Campbell. Present. Dorntoff.
Here.
Paff.
Here.
Paysack.
Here.
And Sula.
Present. We do have a quorum. If everyone would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a minor PUD modification request from Rorman Volkswagen located at 6301 Route 132. Tracy?
Yep. Mr. Mark Batista with the Rorman Auto Group is requesting a minor PUD modification to allow a brick paver pad that is presently located on the Volkswagen Hyundai property to be modified so that it can be used to park display vehicles that are for sale at these dealerships. The brick pavers are proposed to be removed so that the 14-foot required setback in the planned unit development can be met. It appears that approximately 8 to 9 feet of these pavers will need to be removed. The intent is when the pavers are removed that they will use that to store and display vehicles for sale. Mr. Batista is here to answer any questions that you have. The Planning and Zoning Board has the final decision-making authority in this matter.
Great, thank you, Tracy. Mark, is there anything you'd like to add? You need to use the microphone, please.
Nothing at all, just that these last 6 months have been a little challenging in the automobile business without cars to sell, but we're getting by. And we can use the extra space, and of course that is primary up in front for display of certain vehicles. Probably would be a display for the new electric vehicles that will be coming out, and we would love to use it. And we've sent a letter in as requested, as well as a drawing that illustrates that we would remove those brick pavers along that, I guess it would be Gurnee Department of Transportation right away, which was required. So that's all I have. If anybody has any questions.
Dave? None on my end.
I was just wondering, why was that not part of the parking lot originally?
So when the planned unit development was originally approved, there's a billboard over there and nothing was proposed underneath it. So that's how the planned unit development was approved. When they came in for a building permit, there was a plan that showed the brick pavers underneath there. Staff did not see it. It was on one of many pages of plans. It eventually got built. At the time that it was built, there was discussion at the village board level about what to do with that brick paver pad. Ultimately, the village board decided that they should let it remain, and as long as the developer or the business did not use it for the parking or storage of vehicles. It's been, close to 20 years probably.
Yeah.
They're looking to utilize it. It kind of makes sense because it's in line with the rest of the display area that's further to the east. I just don't think they initially proposed it because over it is a billboard sign.
Billboard, okay.
Todd? Josh?
That was kind of my question.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the surface is there. It's kind of been an attractive temptation, if you will, to get used, and just caused a little bit of push back and forth. So I think it's a reasonable request as well. So would anybody care to advance a motion?
You can make the motion.
Sure, go ahead.
Motion to approve a minor PUD modification for Rorman Volkswagen to allow the existing brick paver pad located at 6301 Grand Avenue to be used to park display vehicles associated with the vehicle dealerships, subject to the removal of all pavers within the first 14 feet of the Grand Avenue property line.
Okay,
I'll
we have a
second
motion.
it.
Second by Mr. Paff. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Joanne.
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. So as this was a minor one, this is the only approval step other than the building permit or whatever is required for this.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all for your help.
Good. Keep selling those cars and generating those sales tax dollars.
I was glad to say that even with the shortage of vehicles this last year, and it's been a shortage for about 8 months, our Hyundai store alone did $75 million in sales,
That's awesome.
which means about $7 million in sales tax generated from our one store. That doesn't include Volkswagen next door. Plus, if we had vehicles to sell, it would be a heck of a lot more. So we had a good year, and we were able to sustain. And we're going to do much better, and it's going to relieve the burden of the taxpayers here because we're going to bring more money to the village. And you're going to need an expansion here pretty soon. You're going to need a facelift.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next item on the agenda is a minor sign exception request from Image 360 here in Gurnee for property located at 505 North Illinois Route 21. Tracy?
Sure. Image 360 Gurnee is seeking a minor sign exception to allow the refacing of an existing legal nonconforming sign located at 505 North Illinois Route 21. The minor sign exception request is to allow the number of tenant panels per face to increase from 4 to 8. The new code limits by right the number of tenant panels per face to 4. It also requires that 40% of the signed face identify the office center's name and address, and requires that letter heights on the sign, the main business name, address, and office center's name be a minimum of 6 inches tall, while all other information, such as taglines, be a minimum of 3 inches in height. The existing face, the sign of the existing sign, which predates the current code, was damaged by wind. The sign structure at the time contained 17 tenant panels per face. It did not provide 40% of the sign area to identification of the office center's name and address, and it did not meet the lettering height for tenant panels. The applicant is proposing modifications to the sign to ensure that the office center's name and address and individual tenant panels are more legible from the roadway. The new sign face proposed will meet the 40% requirement for the office center name and address, and the letter height for the tenant panels is also proposed to meet code. The number of tenant panels has been reduced from 17 to 8, but still exceeds the allowance of 4 by right. Code does allow a minor sign exception to increase the number of tenant panels per face from 4 to 8. A minor sign exception can be granted by the Planning and Zoning Board if they find that the number, size, design, and placement of all proposed signs within the development are consistent with the stated purposes of the sign regulations. You have a copy of those in your packet. The Planning and Zoning Board also has a final decision-making authority in this matter.
Thank you, Tracy. Is there anyone here from, would you like to add anything, please, sir?
Hi, I'm Dennis Dubois from Image 360. I guess the only thing I would add would be, I did bring along a picture of the old one if you would like to see it. And the old faces were made of galvanized steel. Not a great idea. The new faces would be factory-painted aluminum composite and have the mullions, if you will, between the panels will be dimensional rather than just vinyl stripes like the old sign was.
Thank you.
Can I take a look?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, personally, I've always found those buildings to be very attractive, but the sign kind of frustrates me because I have a hard time reading it, and I think this is going to be a great improvement.
Yeah, me too.
Only one's being fixed at this point, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a really nice improvement. 17 to 8, it's going to be nice.
Put out online.
And the fact that you're getting 40% that says winter,
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I agree completely, and, you know, I think take a look at the spirit in which the code was written and the intent behind all this. I think this gets this much more aligned with the spirit of it, and I think it's a major step in the right direction, and I hope others are inspired when they see this improvement, so I support it.
I'm in total agreement. I drove out there tonight, and the sign that's out there right now, I couldn't read anything on it, and I went like, yeah, you'll be able to see it. I've driven by there many times, and I'm like, who is in there? And I'm like, oh, I gotta pay attention driving around the road here, or I'm gonna hit somebody. So yes, I think it'll be 10 times better.
Okay, if a motion in the form of an approval would be in order then? Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
motion to approve a minor sign exception for Image 360 Gurnee to allow a modification to an existing ground sign at 495505 North Illinois Route 21 that would increase the number of tenant panels per face from 4 to 8 in substantial conformance with the plans presented to the PZB on March 2nd, 2022.
Second.
Was it you, Dave? Okay. Any discussion? Can we have roll call, please?
Campbell. Dorntoff.
Aye.
Bath.
Aye.
Ezzard.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So next step would be building permit approval.
Thank you.
Submission. Okay. Next item on the agenda is just a notation, meeting on the calendar for March 16th, and there will be at least one public hearing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll open the floor for public comment.
Jim,
Yeah,
I have something.
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to take a moment to thank our staff. I don't think we do this enough, but I was on the website today, and it's just, everything is so organized for us. It makes our job so easy, Tracy. I think you guys do a great job, and I don't say it enough publicly. And I was searching through agendas, looking for videos, and you guys do a wonderful job. Thanks for making this a really nice experience to be a board member. I know, Jim, we talk about this on the side, and I think we would all agree. Just thank you. We're very grateful to have you guys.
Thank you.
Public comment? Okay, I'll close the floor to the public. Motion to adjourn would be in order?
So move.
Second?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Stay warm tomorrow, folks. It's gonna get cold again.
Is it? Really? Oh, jeez, I haven't even looked.
Yeah.
I'm